Hey, what is going on, everyone? This is KioboomDiekin. Welcome back to the channel. Just going to send the link out here for just a minute, but we're going to get into this conversation today to find out what's going on with our fireworks, what's going on with our video games. This past week, I was at the Huntington Beach Pier, and primarily the one reason why I wanted to do this video on my firework channel is because I'm tied in with a lot of the communities with retro gaming, arcades, and fireworks. And so wanted to speak to mostly my pyro affiliates out there, let you guys know what's going on here on the West Coast, to give you a bird's eye view and a personal view from what is going on, and let you know that this isn't just an isolated incident with everything going on for this 4th of July year and our fireworks. So those of you all know, I am here on the West Coast. I took a trip out to Huntington Beach, and what's going on right now is all the ports are seemingly backed up. Let me see if I can find an image here for you that really takes a look at what's going on here. I know there's a few videos on YouTube. You know what? In fact, let me go over here and take a look, and I'll find it for you, and then I'll show you what videos that I captured. Right now, so here's a video where all the ships are backed up out sea. And the Long Beach Harbor, San Pedro Harbor, for those of you who may not know, they service over 200,000 businesses a year. And the port is about 43 miles long. So they're getting shipments from places like Japan, China, Korea, and other various places. And so right now, everybody is backed up. And this isn't just affecting fireworks. Obviously, whatever type of cargo they are carrying, it is affecting them as well. So I also want to show you another screenshot here. This is somebody else that I personally follow on YouTube. This is P-Dubs. He posted this a couple of days ago. We'll take a look at P-Dubs Arcade Loft. And this is pretty much the general consensus for what's going on in the community. I don't have screenshots from everybody else, but he posted, hey, dear Patrick, anyone else receive an update on their Arcade 1-Up Marvel pinball unit today? And I believe this came from either Best Buy or GameStop. And it says, we are contacting you to let you know in regards to your GameStop.com order for Marvel Pinball that there has been a slight delay in your order, and it will arrive later than expected. We apologize for any inconvenience for frustration this has caused you. At this time, we have an ETA of March 9th for your order to be shipped out to you. Now, a lot of people have ordered their pinball machine units and some Arcade 1-Up units last year. But just to give you guys an overall perspective of what's going on, as I said, this is not just affecting the pyro community. This is affecting the gaming community, other companies as well, as far as the product. So for those of you who have been asking, where is your product? Where are your fireworks? Where are your video games? And they are, they're right here. So as I said, I spent some time out here this weekend. I'll turn the volume down because it is kind of windy. And so this is where all the containers are. Now, I'm about 20 miles south of Long Beach and San Pedro. Long Beach and San Pedro are right next to each other. So this is about 20 miles south near the Huntington Beach Pier. And I'll show you exactly where this is on the map in just a few moments. But as you can see, those are all freight and cargo containers sitting out there anchored on the open ocean, waiting to be unloaded. And from some of my inside sources tells me that a lot of these ships won't be unloaded until maybe September or possibly October, unless some things change. And so this is what's going on right now as far as a lot of product right now in the community. In fact, some of my friends are telling me they're not going to get their fireworks until maybe August or September of this coming year. And so, again, this is not just an isolated incident where it's affecting just fireworks. This is affecting everyone as a whole who is looking for their merchandise. All right, and here I am standing here on the beach near the Huntington Beach Harbor, and those are some of the ships. as far as the eye can see. It was really windy out here this day. And so this backup actually took place, and I believe it actually started somewhere around November of last year, where a lot of these ships had to start waiting out at sea. And one of my friends, he also works at the harbor. And of course, I have some contacts down there as well. And they've had a large issue. There's been a problem since the whole COVID situation hit. I know that there were some layoffs. I know that there were some cutbacks as far as truck drivers and whatnot. But primarily, all of your product, your fireworks, your video games, your ad games unit, your II arcade, if they're shipping from one of these general territories, they're out there on those ships. And so, for in regards to that message with Best Buy or GameStop, I'm sorry, these companies, even though you've placed your pre-order for product, is sitting out there. They can't give you an estimated timeline. And I do know that the firework owners, those of you in the pyro community, the owners have been a little bit more open and honest about that, I will say. But the guys in the video game community, a lot of the owners and people who run the retro gaming community that's expecting shipment, and you guys have placed your pre-orders, they're not saying anything. And the reason why you're getting this delay or this email about, hey, your shipment's going to come or your pre-order's canceled or postponed or whatever the case might be, they don't know when these ships are going to get unloaded. And that's pretty much why I'm doing the video today and wanted to do an open discussion with all of you. So here's the Huntington Beach Harbor, or the pier, I'm sorry, back over here to the left. And this stretches over 20 miles. And then, of course, I do believe it goes further out at sea as you get closer to Long Beach. And this is the south side on my left, and then looking up north, going to the right. And the port, or LA County, as we call it, has never looked like this. In fact, I used to live here, and I could tell you I've never seen this many ships or ships like this just sitting out here at sea at any given point in time. So let me pull up a map really quick just to give you all a point of reference. Let's take a look. We'll do. Let's see here. And we'll zoom in. That's your Belinda. All right. So I was standing here. Here's the Huntington Beach Pier down here. This is where I was standing when I did the video. And these are all the ships. I do actually have a port or video of, or actually there's a website where you could track all the shipments coming in. So let me just pull it up here. I'll pull up the satellite view first. And so this is where Long Beach is. This is the United States largest port area here in Long Beach. And so in Long Beach, you have right next door to it, you have San Pedro. This is where all the ships are coming in. In fact, this is the Queen's Bay. This is where the Queen Mary normally sits right here. And then you have this dome. And this is typically Carnival Cruise Line, as you can see. So I actually recorded in here years ago when I went to Mexico. I did the Mexico Riviera cruise. And of course, security told me I couldn't record. I didn't even know it was that secret or off limits that you couldn't record inside this building. But yeah, these are where all the ships are docked right now. Obviously, I don't have my drone with me when I went out there, but it goes all the way out this way, just miles offshore. And so, and this port is about, I think it's 43 miles long. And from where I am, it was about 20 miles. I'm not sure if it's the actual circumference or a diameter of the entire area, but I know it's roughly 7,500 acres or something like that. And it's about 40 miles long, whatnot. But from here to here is about 20 miles in a straight drive. Sky Graffiti Pyro says, now, I got this info from a friend that works at the Port of LA. The problem is the dock workers have been given a lot of paid time off not to work. And that is very true. That is absolutely correct. And so, again, I know some people have said in the pyro community that this was all kind of surprising and whatnot. But no, I mean, things have just slowly been backing up. Some people have been sick. Some people have obviously had COVID. Unfortunately, some people have had to, had passed away during this time frame. And I could tell you that, this has been an ongoing issue ever since, I believe it was March. I think it may have been February of 2020. So February of last year is really where things really started to come to a head. But yeah, you're really spot on as far as a lot of the dock workers being given time, a lot of to pay time off. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this too. Keep in mind, a lot of the truck drivers have slowed down as well because considering this is California, we're still on lockdown here. And a lot of counties, they have shut down a lot of, or at the time, I know they're opening things up now, but you couldn't even do outdoor dining. And so a lot of those restaurants, depending on truck drivers to deliver food and supplies, they didn't have a route to work or help deliver supplies and so forth. And so all of this has played in a part of all of these ships being anchored out at sea, not having enough people to staff. Now, I do know the good thing is I do believe in later of 2019 or beginning of 2020, the Port of LA, they did implement a robot system to help offload a lot of that. A lot of people complaining saying it was going to put them out of work, and I definitely understand that. You don't want to have so much of an automated service, but that's another thing. But yeah, that's pretty much what's affecting all the ships being out at sea right now. And then, here's some other products. You have the IR Arcade. I played this last week with another guy named Bobby. And then, of course, this is the new At Games Legends pinball cabinet that people are expecting. So a lot of these companies, they're not really being vocal about this because they don't want people to either cancel their orders or maybe change their mind to wait because they have no say over this. A lot of these products have already left China. They are not, as you guys all know, in the firework business, we're familiar with Chinese New Year. A lot of the products already have to be on the ships. And so this is why you're getting that notice from companies like Best Buy or maybe GameStop delaying everything. I think I got one last video here I'll pull up for you. Let's see here. Oh, that's a photo. Yeah, they've had a big reduction in staff right now. As far as with their cutbacks and everything. Yeah, so primarily, as soon as they get these ships docked, obviously that's when things are going to be, unloaded. But yeah, just wanted to share this with all of you, get your thoughts and concerns, and keep you up to date that this is not an isolated incident that is strictly only going on with fireworks. Now, if you want me to swim out there to one of those ships and get your stuff, you can pay me a handsome fee. Maybe I'll do it. Just joking. But seriously, so yeah, all these ships that have different products on here, nobody has control over this right now, is all up to the LA Port Authority, the city of Long Beach, city of San Pedro. And I hope this doesn't get any worse than as it is. But it's really sad to see Huntington Beach like this because normally you just have a clear sky. You don't have ships like this. So when I saw this, I was like, man, I didn't realize it was that bad. I've saw some of the other videos out there with the Coast Guard and stuff, but to see that it's stretching this far south, this is almost near Newport Beach, which is almost not too far away from San Diego. We can skip that video. So yeah, nice sunny day here, Huntington Beach. You have the entire port. Now, as far as an estimated time, as I have said, some shipments and orders that were placed, as far as I know, for let's say maybe July or August last year, some of them won't be unloaded up until I think maybe August or so. And so let me see if I can actually find that video. Actually, there's a website where you can track all the containers. It shows all the shipping lanes. I'll probably pull it up next time. But anyway, just wanted to keep you guys updated, let you get your thoughts, show you what's going on right now on the California coast. And keep in mind, too, once they get this stuff unloaded, obviously there's a couple of trains that drive from the port all the way through the Midwest. I have a lot of buddies there on the Midwest. And so once that happens, then you'll finally be able to get your stuff stocked. But I know a lot of firework owners right now, as far as this year, are really concerned, especially those on the East Coast, because most of your fireworks aren't coming in on the East Coast. They're coming in through the port of LA. And then, of course, being driven by truck or train to your local store. So as I get more information while I am in this territory, I'll try to keep you guys posted. But yeah, hopefully this is cleared up pretty fast. And as I said, it's not an isolated incident. If you're asking where are your fireworks, where are your video games, they're all sitting there on these ships. And then, of course, there are other ships further out at sea, probably another 5 or 6 miles. Yeah, so Sky Graffiti says about right. What we are getting in right now was ordered last April through June. So, yeah. Yeah, so if that's fireworks you ordered last year June, and I do believe there's only about 2 ports in all of China that deals with fireworks. So it may be slightly different for some of the video games because they ship out of a different harbor from China and whatnot. But yeah, if they have put in an order for, let's say, August or September of last year of 2020, and who knows when some of these arcade units, video games are just coming in. But of course, again, my goal was to inform both communities about what's going on, because it's interesting. I see video game guys wondering where the stuff is, but a lot of the guys in the arcade one-up, IR arcade or ad games communities, obviously I don't think they really follow too many of the firework communities as well, but consistently you see a lot of the guys who are in the firework community, because their business harbingers on when they get their product, because the season is starts May 1st for fireworks season. So they have to have their product in. And they're not making new fireworks here over in America. I mean, it all comes over from China. And so you consistently see in some of the groups and other forums where we're talking about, hey, when's my shipment coming in? Where are my fireworks? But then the people in the video game community are wondering, like, why is my pre-order being canceled? And they're not maybe familiar with the logistics and everything that's going on right now with some of these shipping concerns, because this answers your question. Like, where's your stuff out here on the ships, obviously. Sky Graffiti Pyro says more fun to come. The shipping container loaders in China sent to sit on stick. What does that mean? Yeah, and keep in mind too, this doesn't affect anything that would have happened on in China. I do know that there were a few shutdowns in China as well. So of course that affects your product. So I believe what happened, and I'm only speculating here, that some of you who have already ordered your arcade units and you got that notice that you were going to receive your unit, my best educated guess is I believe the ship was at sea. Maybe they said, hey, we're here. And then they said, well, sorry, we can't unload you until March or May or April. That's probably what happened. Oh, went on stick. Oh, they went on stick this week. Yeah. And you guys will love, if you've never been to Huntington Beach, you'll love the weather out here. In fact, I actually used to live not too far away from Paul Walker. I know Paul Walker had the guy used to be in Fast and the Furious. he had a home not too far from mine. But yeah, it's really nice. I hear a lot of the surfers come out here, so I know they're kind of disappointed to see this view because we love our California weather and our California views. But they really expanded this area here. But 20 miles down south to see these ships, that should really concern some of us waiting on our stuff. Now, obviously, I don't know what else is being imported as far as food or anything, but I hope that there are no issues with. Well, let me back up. And this is in addition to that container spill that happened at sea a few months ago. So, for those of you who didn't know, I know some of businesses or pyro businesses here in America took a hit because they lost their stuff at sea. And the at games and I believe Arcade 1-Up units, there were several of those containers on there as well. So, again, totally not isolated. Everybody is shipping stuff at the same time. You don't have a bin or a cargo ship loaded with a bunch of fireworks. You have everything else on there as well, too. So, as an estimated time frame, I would probably, well, I can't really, expect, but whenever they get this stuff offloaded, that's when you will get all of your video games. This is when you'll get your fireworks. Everything here is all central. This is not a situation where, let me see if I can pull it up here. This is not a situation here where you can have them speed up in China, or if it's an issue with the company you're dealing with or the truckers. Everything is going on right here. Now, just to give you a overall perspective, this is how big California is. And if you think or look how big this nation is, and most of the traffic is not coming from up here along the coast of California near Sacramento, it's all Long Beach, all Southern California. Again, this is the nation's largest port in terms of freight, and everything coming over from overseas is right here. This is where all of your stuff is coming from, your big screen TVs, your fireworks, your video games. And of course, there is a short right now, too, with microchips. I know that is affecting car manufacturers right now. GPUs are skyrocketing. In fact, I think video cards that used to cost $160 are now retailing or selling online for $400. So, yeah, there's a huge shortage right now going on in China. And of course, this is affecting everything going on, with the shipping. I'm not sure exactly what part or what percentage that's taken into effect with the electronics and the shipping and whatnot, but everything is here on the ships. Now, if that is true, because I forgot about that, I do believe it was either AMD or NVIDIA. They moved their base of operation to, I believe it was Vietnam. It was one of those companies. They moved their base of operations to Vietnam. But even still, if video cards on there, because right now at Best Buy, Fry's, Micro Center, all of those stores have, and obviously Newegg and all the other websites, there's a shortage on GPUs right now. And if any of those GPUs are on those ships, well, that's where they are. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Yeah, so once again, here are your ships. This is 20 miles south of Long Beach. I personally never seen anything like this before. Not isolated. As I've seen some people said, hey, nobody saw this coming. It's been coming for months, especially when you have people who work there and they tell you something that's going on. And then, of course, you obviously know the trickle effect, logistically speaking. Hey, Steve, I think I see your fireworks there on that ship right there, man. Let me know if you want me to help you out. Let me see. I think there was another YouTube video I want to pull up just really quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I believe this was footage from the port. of LA with a Long Beach container. This was posted on February 11th. So this is an aerial view from a news agency. So as I said, the video that I showed you was along the coast, and this is obviously further out at sea. And don't quote me on this, so I believe this is probably another 15, 20 miles out at sea. Hey, Red Beard, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Okay, let me maximize this so you guys can see it a little bit better. So this is another 15, 20 miles out at sea where you have all these ships anchored, waiting to be unloaded. And then there's Long Beach Harbor. Here, let me pause this for a second. So this is the Long Beach Harbor. This is the international terminal here, this little white dome. There is the Carnival Cruise Line. There is the Queen Mary. I've been over here several times, and this is where all the action takes place. But, it just amazes me is how big as we are as a nation, everything comes through Long Beach. Not really. I mean, obviously you have some stuff that comes up through Sacramento, San Francisco, in that area. And then, of course, San Pedro's over this way, but everything comes through here. So regardless of what part of the country you are in, everything's coming through Long Beach and San Pedro. Yeah, unfortunately, I broke my drone. It crashed, so I have to buy a new one. But normally I would have flew my drone out, but I don't think I honestly would have because it was really windy. Now, keep in mind, all these containers you're looking at, these containers are all over 40 feet long. So these are hundreds and, of course, not if thousands of containers on all of these ships, 40 feet long. Obviously, a combination of electronics, probably food, video games, whatever the case might be. Again, as I said, you don't have one particular ship shipping just fireworks because, as I said, that scenario where the ships or the containers fell over or were lost at sea, it wasn't just fireworks. It was also the at games, Legends. I think they were their cabinets or their pinball machines. And then, of course, Arcade 1-Up had some stuff on there too. So it was just interesting to see when that happened, a lot of the companies responding to a lot of their product. And personally, I think a lot of people thought that was funny, but unfortunately, that affected a lot of companies' revenue and people getting paid as far as truck drivers being able to deliver and do some other things. And some of these ships are just awaiting entry. So I do believe the ships that I showed you, those have already gained entry. The ones that were along the beach from Huntington Beach, those have already gained entry. These are trying to get entry probably into the country and then get unloaded. So. Let me see if I have another angle shot. And I know there's another video closer to let me see. I know there's another video that I had where it actually detailed a little bit more of the actual shipping lanes. And this was on February 13th. And you know what? It wasn't until I recorded that video, because obviously I'm aware about what's going on in the community. It wasn't until I recorded that video that I realized just how serious it was. I mean, obviously, I have friends and family members that have worked down here in the Port Authority for a number of years. However, until I actually saw it with my own eyes when I was in Huntington Beach. I was like, oh crap. It's like I didn't realize how big it was. Yeah, so you're right. So probably about 1,800 containers on some of those ships, each about 40 feet long. That's probably about right. Let me see. I think somebody here posted something here about a couple weeks ago. All right, so this was a video I watched a couple of weeks ago. This was the update on the port of Long Beach cargo container ships. And in this video, I'm not sure which website he's using. I tried to find something similar to it, but it gives you an idea about how many ships are further out at sea. So here, let me blow this up so you can see it. So this is Huntington Beach. Obviously, this is where I was. I was standing there at the pier, and these were the number of ships at sea. So you can see this on a virtual reality view of how many ships are waiting. And then this, of course, doesn't take into account all the other ships that are further out at sea. I'll just fast forward this a little bit. And so these are the shipping lanes of all the ships in the world. This is typically all the ships that, all the shipping lanes and things that they take. Then you have a better idea here of all the ships that are stuck, just waiting to be unloaded. And again, these are freight. This has nothing to do with Carnival or other cruise ships, which really aren't moving too much because it's still of all the shutdowns right now. But as you can see, this is where the jam pack action is taking place. And this is why Best Buy, GameStops, and everyone else, you're getting your pre-orders, or you're getting your cancellations, and they're telling you, yeah, it's coming, because they're just waiting for these to get in there. So you can see this area is really congested. This is Ranchos Palos Verdes here. This is Huntington Beach, Long Beach, San Pedro. Can't even see it there on that little shot. Yeah, so you can't even really see it there on that shot, but so that's what's going on right now at the Port of LA. Hope you guys consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any questions or any comments, here's another video from somebody else at Long Beach just a few days ago. Let me see, what day was this? Someone posted this January 11th, and comparing my video to this one, it doesn't look like there's been too much action out there. In fact, it's actually gotten longer, because if this is south of Long Beach here on the left, ships are piling up going further down south towards San Diego. And then, of course, this was 2 months ago. This was the tragic accident that took place where one of the shipping containers actually lost all the cargo. Not all of it, but they had to take some time to clean this up. And so again, on this particular ship, you did have fireworks, video games, and some other things on there. So I know that some of the reps from some of the companies did comment that there was going to be a delay. All right, so Red Beer in, hey, what's going on, Cali Pyro? So in regards to this particular ship, this one had 1,800 containers go overboard. So they still had containers here. So this is probably what, almost 3,000 containers that this thing was hauling. I mean, if you do the math, 1,800 went over, and they still have a number of containers here. Yeah, I'm not swimming on our coast. Sorry, this isn't the Bahamas or the Cayman Islands, where they actually have clean water. Yeah, so 1,800 containers went over, fireworks, video games. You guys are in the forums. You've seen some of the owners mention that they've lost some product. But again, pyro guys, you are not the only ones. This is affecting everybody, and this is a total mess. So it took some time to clean up this mess here, to get it all off the ship, make sure everything was safe, things wouldn't fall over. So yeah, that's probably about 3,000 containers if you were trying to do the math, Red Beer. Yeah, all that good product down there. So yeah, I know that this year for fireworks is going to be really interesting. We'll see if companies make it or not. We'll see what happens with a lot of their if they raise the prices, if they still do wholesale. There's still just a lot of questions right now as to what people are going to. Here, I'll show this video again. How the firework businesses are going to handle this, because obviously they want to make a profit. And so I don't imagine a lot of companies still selling a lot of wholesale if they're short on merchandise. So some of your retailers, as I've said earlier, buy now. Now is the best time to get it as soon as you can, because obviously at closer to the 4th of July, prices are going to skyrocket. And according to some other inside sources, and if you guys follow Spirit of 76 as well as some other companies, I believe this may be the new trend now, with some of the prices going up for at least the next 3 or 4 years. Oh, sweet. Yeah, if you're in one of the other areas where it's a little smaller, and obviously maybe they don't buy a lot of fireworks, but they have a huge warehouse, then yeah, you'll probably be fine. But I know a lot of the stores that were hit not this year, but for 2020, that ran out of fireworks, and now they're trying to recoup their costs. They're really trying to rebuild their inventory. They're probably going to fill it. Let's see. Red Apple has an interesting algorithm that has been bumping prices again as things sell through. Yeah, that's actually really good, because I know with the price of anything. Now, the thing is, I haven't seen any prices really go up on video games. So, well, actually, there has been. Arcade One Up has kind of gone up on their prices. So, yeah, you're right, Redbeard. That's going to be interesting to see on a day-to-day basis. Now, as far as I know, Red Apple was already adjusting prices based upon this type of scenario. Obviously, selling fireworks, and as I've said before, if you're selling whatever market you're in, you got to price for the curve, the 3 or 4 year advance. You can't buy something at $5 that you paid for 3 or 4 years ago and then still price it at $20 saying, hey, I made some additional profit. You got to price it for like 25, maybe $30 to kind of price for the curve for what may happen in the future. For example, most of you are still, you have your stashes for fireworks. I'm sure most of you have a stash that'll at least last you for a good 2 or 3 years. I mean, unless you're really lighting it up out there and just blowing through everything. But you got to plan ahead for these things. And then, of course, I feel sorry for the other resellers, as far as the black market sellers. You guys know who you are, the ones who sell fireworks on the street, the street price. I really hope you guys weren't selling your last 2 or 3 years, or your price margins for the past 2 or 3 years. I hope you price for the rainy day season to say, gee, what if they go up another $100 to $200 on fireworks? And if you weren't that person that kind of planned for stuff like that, and you were selling based upon what you bought it for 3 or 4 years ago, then you're going to have an issue, because not only are you not going to make a profit, you're just going to be barely breaking even. All right, fellas, I just wanted to share these videos with you, give you my perspective on the entire situation, get some feedback from the community, to kind of, link both communities together, let you guys know what was going on. obviously with me having boots on the ground here. But if there are no more questions or concerns, hope you guys have a good day. Share this video, like or subscribe. Consider subscribing to the channel. I do have some other information that will be coming out. But if you really want your fireworks, let me know. Or if you really want your video game cabinet, it's out there on that ship. All you got to do is get one of those little submarines and hoist your stuff off and be on about your way. Yeah, Redbeard, you got to think about replacement costs in every scenario. So, I remember back in the day during loss preventions, like even when a retailer, somebody steals from a retailer and they try to sue the person or have them arrested, you have to sue or try to recoup 3 times the amount of that cost. So the first cost is going to be the initial price of the item. The second cost is the money that you would have paid for it or a customer. So let's say if you have a $300 TV, somebody steals a $300 TV. So that costs you $300, relatively. I know there's wholesale and stuff. So that costs you $300. Then you lost money on the sale. So that's $600. And then you have to spend another $300 to replace that item. So it's not a $300 item you lost, it's actually $900. So in this particular case, if it's fireworks, video games, whatever the case might be, and you're selling the firework for $10, you got to price it for at least maybe 30 or 40 really to break even or get a profit. All right. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later. This is KioboomDiekin. Have a good day. I will see you later. Peace.